Are companies exploiting you in the name of dynamic pricing? Have you noticed how prices of app-based cab services suddenly shoot up when it is raining or during the weekend perhaps? This is called dynamic pricing. Before we go on, let's tell you what all it entails. Dynamic pricing is basically when the price of a product or a service is not fixed. Instead, it is adjusted according to real-time supply and demand. Say it's 5 o'clock, you are in office, you are just about to sign off for the day, when it starts raining cats and dogs. And before you know it, there is waterlogging in some parts of your city. Some drivers of app-based cabs have switched off their system. They do not want to risk driving around in the rain, but the demand for cabs has suddenly shot up. Those who would normally walk to the nearest metro station or bus stop and avail public transport have perhaps now decided it's better to make an exception and just take a cab back home from office. So what you have here is a rise in demand, but a fall in supply. The cab company decides to make the most of this and charge customers double or triple the usual amount. Dynamic pricing and the company 1, consumer 0. There are algorithms controlling dynamic pricing. Airlines have been using them for a long time now. Same with hotels. Come a long weekend, hotel prices automatically shoot up. Now, even IRCTC, the Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation, is using dynamic pricing. Prices of some of the most popular trains like Rajdhani, Shatabdi, Duronto can go up by as much as 50% of the original fare. Do you think that's fair? Isn't this exploitation in its most cruel form? You see, in India, railways are not run by the private sector. They are run by the government, and it is run by the taxpayers' money. But when the same taxpayer goes to IRCTC to avail the services of the Indian Railways, she is slapped with dynamic pricing. Last year, the price of a 2-tier AC seat on a Mumbai-Patna train was selling at over 9,300 rupees. This was in the second half of May, when there was a surge in the number of people heading to Patna and elsewhere in Bihar for the Chhath festival. How does this work? Why is dynamic pricing being used as an excuse to profit off a taxpayer who may need to travel home for a medical emergency? Isn't this exploitation? And this has become universal, by the way. Today, even restaurants are using dynamic pricing. Concert goers also are being exploited by this technology. Have you heard of the band Oasis? The rock and roll band has announced its first tour in over a decade. The band will be touring UK, Wales and Ireland in 2025. The tickets went on sale this weekend. They were initially advertised for $194. Fans waited at queues for hours, but after the wait, fans were told that even the most basic tickets were now selling at nearly $500 each. Why? Dynamic pricing.
It feels pretty crazy, like how much money it is. Yeah, I don't think I would spend that much money on one night. I guess it shows kind of capitalism at its finest. It makes sense as an algorithm, but yeah, I wouldn't do it myself.
I think these are too high prices, for me to pay, for example, for Oasis, for a concert.
And this is not a first. Singer Bruce Springsteen also faced a lot of criticism for dynamic pricing. Springsteen had allowed Ticketmaster's dynamic pricing to handle the sales for his 2023 tour. At one point, the platform was selling mid-range seats for $4,000 each. The singer built an image of being an advocate for the working class. Dynamic pricing shattered that image. It affected his fan base. Today, users of app-based cab services will tell you how frustrated they are. Don't you think they will dump these services at the very first chance they get? Say a cab service tomorrow promises to not inflate prices or slap surcharge. Won't every second user jump ship? You see, most people have budgets. Say you plan to go for 3 holidays a year or 2 concerts a year or visit family thrice a year. You would set aside a certain amount, right? And guess what? Customers do not like surprises, unless these are pleasant surprises. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.